But we are stretched. Let's be under no illusions here. This is not going to be an easy fight. They're taking frightful losses there. Got to deal with these mortars. They are absolutely going to butcher our forces, and this is the problem. Let's not sit here on our hands waiting for something to happen. Now we've messed with their minds here, sir. Knights of St. John campaign, and this, my friends, how we left it last time. And once again, my friends, I have called upon the council's advice, and once again the council has come up with some exemplary advice, plans, strategies, tactics. It's been absolutely incredible, it really has, my friends. And once again, looks like the council has once again steered this campaign into calmer waters, into a course that will actually allow us to not only escape the trap here set by the French, but even to strike back at them where it hurts the most. But we shall go into that a bit more detail momentarily, my friends. But first of all, here's what the sort of the main theme of the sort of the council strategy was. First of all, is we're going to evacuate the Caribbean. There's absolutely, as many of the council members say, there's no point in being in here and just letting the French just, you know, attack you, destroy most of your forces, and leave you really in a lot of trouble here. So we're going to evacuate. The main theme was evacuate, get back to sort of North Africa, and then strike back at the French from there. So we're going to sort of consolidate back in North Africa. But before we do that, we must give these islands, or at least give Leeward Islands, to a definite enemy of the French. Now, there was a suggestion we give it to New Spain, but New Spain, I know my friends have checked here, and New Spain isn't at war with France. So if we give it to New Spain as an excellent suggestion, please don't think this is, you know, I'm not sort of, you know, thinking this is an excellent suggestion, but it was an excellent suggestion. But as you can see here, they're actually allies with France. So indirectly, if we give New Spain the Leeward Islands, they will be getting trade from France, will be getting trade from New Spain because they've got that island. So we don't want to give them even indirect help. We don't want to give them that indirect help at all. We must give these islands to an enemy of the French. We must sort of almost unleash a hornet's nest here. We must put an enemy in the Caribbean that wasn't here before to give the French as much trouble as we possibly can. So the Leeward Islands is going to go to an enemy of France. And now if we can have a look here, we need a powerful enemy, or a relatively powerful enemy. Now, of course, United Provinces is of course an enemy of France, because we already know there's a brutal war going on there, with Paris only the last remaining vestige there of the French sort of empire in Europe. And as you can see here, they're at war with France, the Dutch, United Provinces. But they're also allied with Britain. We don't want to give them another enemy of ours, an ally of our enemy, even more sort of income. So we don't, because the Dutch are trading with the British, so if we give them an island, they will also be helping the British indirectly as well, even if they're at war with France. But my friends, if we look here, look at Austria. Austria's at war with the French. I know they're trading partners with the British. I know I've just said, you know, we can't really, but they're not allies with them. The key is they're not allies with them, so they won't actually come to help. I know they're trading, so the British will get sort of trade from the, you know, we'll get trade from Britain. I understand that, and maybe I'm sort of gone back on myself there. But they're at war with the French, but they're not allied with the British. So that's the real key here. That's really is key here. So we definitely want, and also they're probably the most powerful nation that are at war with France. They're the one nation that probably can stand up to any French aggression. Let's have a quick look here at Austria. As you can see here, now they're not massive by any means, but they do have a good solid base here. But they are at war with the Prussians. I'm not sure if Prussia is at war with France. No, it's not. As you can see, they're at war with Britain, though. But that's what war we're going to leave simmer here. They're also at war with Austria. So, you know, it's sort of, it's a catch-22 position really we're in. Do we sort of give an enemy of our main enemy, which is at the moment going to be France, because you can see they're directly attacking us, and then indirectly sort of help Britain because they are trading with Britain? Or do we sort of give the islands to a nation that can actually defend itself against the French, but also not an ally, is war with France, but not an ally of Britain? And I know that they will be getting trade from Britain, but still, I think as a trade we've got a trade-off we've got to look at here. We're not in a position to really negotiate. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give the Leeward Islands to Austria. We want to be able to throw an enemy of France in the Caribbean here. Now, there's every chance that the French will merely come along and retake it off the Austrians, but that's up to them. That is up to the French to do that, and also the Austrians might respond in kind there. Now, also, what do we do with Trinidad and Tobago here? Many of the council have said, leave Trinidad and Tobago, evacuate Trinidad and Tobago, but leave it open for as long as you can. So basically, leave this trade going as long as you can. If the French come and take Trinidad and Tobago, then fair enough. But if they land here, like they've done here, and they can't take it straight off the sort of off the bat, as it were, straight off the sort of the march here, or straight off the the landing here, then we will also give this to the Austrians as well. We want to cause as much problems as we can to the French by giving this land to an enemy of theirs. Let's establish the Austrians in here now. Of course, that might give us problems later down the road, where the Austrians might grow into a sort of superpower. We might be the sort of the ignition for that. But at the moment, we have to deal with what's in front of us right now. And the situation here, strategically, we cannot hold these Caribbean assets. It is just too much of a stretch for us. Can we retreat back to the North Africa and then sort of rebuild and maybe strike against the French there? Yes, we can. And that's the absolute main theme there of the Council's advice. And I'll be absolutely honest with you, my friends, your advice has helped us out with this campaign here, because I sort of had a little bit of a whiny moment last episode. I really did look back, thought myself, stop whining about it. But once again, that calm, that cool advice from the council has come in, and it's sort of helped sort of shape the campaign. Where when I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the campaign's going to end, we're going to get beaten by the French. But in fact, because of that calm advice, because of that excellent advice from the council, it looks like now we can move back to North Africa. We can consolidate. And also, many of you said, do not take Tripoli. Do not take Tripoli from the British here. Let the British stay here. Because as you said, it'll probably cost more for us to actually take the city in recruitment. We have to recruit new troops and repair costs than it would be actually worth. Because as you can see, this is pretty much a barren land here. I mean, there's nothing in here apart from this port here, and even then, that's not going to compensate for the sort of the cost that it's going to incur if we have to sort of replenish the forces, rebuild the city. So as many of you said, leave Tripoli to the British. Who knows where that might go in the end? Now, there's also two other sort of themes running through here, so where we should attack next. That is, the first here is Turin. As you can see, if we take Turin off the French here, all they've got left is Paris here in Europe, and they are absolutely up against it here. As you can see, this has already been hit. Marseille has been hit pretty hard. They're in a massive war with the Dutch here, which I think they're struggling, to be honest with you, although we don't have anything here. A spy was recommended to be sent up this way, or a gentleman was recommended to be sent up here to try and look what's going on here. And we might be able to do, I'm not sure if we do have any spies. We'll have a quick look here. We've got agents here. We don't have any spies at the moment yet. So we can't really do that at the moment. But if we've got an in or something, if we get a coaching in or something like that later on, maybe so. But if we were to establish here, look at this. As many of you said, you've got the Alps then covering your back. And the French cannot attack us through the Alps. They'd have to come through this province here, this Provence vineyards here and move into Turin, in which case we could defend quite well here, although we are boxing against Genoa and the Spanish here as well. But even if we were to take Turin, it would leave them this last vestige here of their sort of European empire. And although it is a mighty empire, as you can see, look, they've been hit here. Clermont has been hit by the Dutch. Dijon has been hit here. No, actually there is a Dutch army here in Dijon. So as you can imagine, the Dutch are up against it. Do we take this time to strike them? Because they've struck us against us in the Caribbean, in the New World. Yes, there's also another suggestion from the council that we attack Texas here. Move in against Texas, take this and sort of establish ourselves in the New World here. Now that is another excellent suggestion. It would put us within striking distance here of the Louisiana, who are, remember, a protectorate of France, which could pose a little few problems, and also we're not sure how New Spain would react to that as being so close to them here. We've also got Genoa up here, so this could be a pretty volatile region here, and I know that Turin would be as well, but my preference at the moment is going to be Turin. But that's not to say that Texas doesn't have its merits. We might be able to do both. We might be able to take Turin and Texas, but I really want to strike back against the French. I really, really do. Even if we can't hold this for very long, I'd like to show them what they're bringing us. We don't know what's in here, though. We're going to have to send a scout ship up here to see what's going on. There could be 3 or 4 armies in here. But our first port of call, and also, my friends, I did have a bit of a brainwave as well. East Indies here. We've got a very, very sort of a real nice income coming from here. 2,562 coming from this sort of trade hub here. But the French are also in here. And I can absolutely guarantee you that the French will send a force of ships from here to attack this here. And all we've got in here is sloops. My proposal is to do right now is to pull this out of here. I know many of you say, Mata, don't do it, Mata, do not do it. But we've got a French force here. And as you can see, for some reason this has been blockaded here. They've got nothing coming out of here. What they will do is hit here, because I can guarantee you they've got a lot of ships in this area here. We can't take any chances at all. We simply cannot do that, my friends. So I'd rather evacuate this sort of trade fleet here and actually send it, not here, because you can see Britain is in here as well, so we've got to be very careful, but actually send it here to the coast of Brazil. Look at that. We can actually reinforce all of these fleets here. The money we've lost in the East Indies trade hub would then be replaced by these gentlemen here as well. Now I know that that's going to hurt us trade-wise, because we've got East Indian spices here, which really are 21 here, as you can see here, but sugar is 20, and that is going to more, if we put those ships in here, that's going to be more than, we'll be down a little bit, but if we lose the whole entire trade fleet, we've lost a good 1,000 gold coins worth of ships here. So that's pretty much the proposal I'm going to move here. I think we're going to move this trade line out of here and actually evacuate it for the time being, because we've got a French fleet in here. I just know that France will strike us here and move into the South American trade theatre.
Qualche ordine?
Sorry about that, my friends. It's a phone call there. So we've now evacuated. I know many of you say, Matt, what are you doing? You must be out of it. We're minus 203 here. I know that we've taken a big hit here. I know that, my friends. But we have to really be on our guard here. We can actually probably raise our taxes a little bit here from the lower class. Actually, we'll probably raise the taxes here for the nobility just to absorb that cost there. I know it's got 95. I know that's pretty stringent here, but we've got to do drastic measures here, because I guarantee you the French are here. They would attack us immediately here. Because the British aren't here, they haven't attacked us here, but the French are. So once we've got them back into the coast of Brazil here, we can then absorb those costs. We'll reduce the tax income again. Now, let's do what we need to do here. We're going to hand over. I wonder if we can sell it to the Austrians. Let's quickly. There was a suggestion that we actually sell this to one another nation. Let's see if we can sell it. So regions. And we're going to go Trinidad and Tobago. And what if we could sell it? We'll demand Let's just demand 3,000 here from them. You gentlemen. Go. So it might be some a bit low here. Let's try 5,000. No. Let's lower it a bit. Let's try and get some coinage out of it, if we can. If we can't, then we just merely hand it over to them. Try 4,000. No. Let's try 3. If it's not 3, right, we'll demand, excuse me my friends, 3,000. And we shall offer Trinidad and Tobago in return. No. Then we hand it over to them. Let's just give it to them. We need to evacuate anyway. We're not going to get anything from it. Oh wait, no, not Trinidad and Tobago. Oof. Leeward Islands. Leeward Islands, gentlemen. Whew. That was almost... Let's see if they will take that. That was almost a mistake on my part there. No. Right, let's give it to them. Let's not mess about anymore. Let's get an enemy of theirs in their Leeward Islands. Gee, those creepers, that was close. Right. Now they're at war with them there, so the French are going to stay there, but we've managed to evacuate these gentlemen here. Look at that. Now we've got the ships here to get these gentlemen off here, which we are going to do. Right, let's evacuate. And we are taking a good sizable force back home here. Let's do this. Let's evacuate. Now the French will probably just take this, not a problem at all. But at least we've gotten that off our back there. We've got that coming in here. 69 here has dropped quite significantly there. Actually, we'll raise the lower classes and drop this one here. What's that going to do? 73. Okay, so that's as best we can do at the moment. So we've got another force coming back here. We're going to put it here in Algiers. We've got quite a sizable army here, which we will rejig. We're also getting here drill school at last, which is going to give us Royal Cairo infantry guards, African infantry guards, grenadiers, and also some light infantry as well, and also, of course, militia, line infantry. But these are going to be very important. Also open up these, especially fire by rank, which we definitely need. But that's all we can do at the moment. We've also got here, we should really get canister shot, but we'll let this finish. Physocracy here is going to give us a bonus here to trade and wealth and farms as well. We should have we got farms being... They must have already completed. Yes, they have indeed. That's great. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's just see what happens with France. There's also a French ship loitering around here somewhere. We do have enough ships here to deal with at least one of them. As you can see here, we do have enough privateers here and also an admiral's flagship. Let's end the turn. We do everything we can here. We've of course taken that hit there from trade because we've lost the spices, but if we go to the coast of Brazil we should be able to soak that up. Our spices have gone up to 24 now, but we're not prepared to lose that trade fleet because the French are in that same theatre as us. That would just be lunacy, because at least we can go and get trade elsewhere with the fleet if it's still intact. If we lost it, that would be just dead money down the drain. So we don't want. So we have to take some hits to be able to get to where we want. But once again, I'd like to thank the council for your wonderful advice. You really have absolutely helped tremendously here. And there it is. Britain is... No, actually, France is... Ah. Looks like they're going to be heading back to Europe. Russia. So, there's no like they're going to do anything, excuse me, with that, with the Trinidad and Tobago yet. Looks like it's still open. Russia. You've still got that trade coming in there. But as you can see here, that must be France here. They must have Marseille open again. Indeed, Marseille is being repaired here. We need to know what's going on in Turin. Oh, the Russians are hitting port there in Ankara. Sweden, who are, I believe, fighting the Russians quite aggressively. Marathons. We do need to open up some more trade routes, but of course we can't at the moment because our trade is a little bit quashed, dare we say, by the shenanigans going on in Central Europe. Good grief. Good grief. Look at that. Munich has fallen to the Prussians. Marseille is now open again. Look at that, France, 12,704. Now our fleet hasn't arrived back yet, and neither has our fleet arrived elsewhere. We got 526, 283, so actually we're not too bad here. So, we can't actually do anything else, but there is a French fleet, or a French ship loitering around here somewhere, maybe even here. We need to know what's going on here. If we're going to attack Turin, we need to know what's going on here. If the Dutch were to really hammer home their advantage here, we could really see France just collapse into the sea, and it would be a wonderful sight. It really would. Got an army here. This is our main army that really has fought some wonderful battles here. But look at that, almost 2 turns left for the drill school. We've managed to keep our trade open here. 3,158 going out here. 7,000 here. New Spain is doing a wonderful job here. If only we could hit this here, we could hit Great Britain's income here, but we can't put any ships out from the ports at all. Our enemy is far, far too strong for us at the moment, but we're going to quickly end this turn here. Now Austria still owns this here, so the French have actually either still here or they've moved out away. Can we get trade with anybody else here? No, we can't, unfortunately. It would have been nice to get some more additional trade, but we can't at the moment. But if we take Turin, we might be able to here. We could have always upgraded that, but we don't have a division of labour just yet. One more turn here, then we're going to switch to canister shot to be open up ordnance factory. Although we get 12 pounders then, and then Great Arsenal here will then open up 12 pounder howitzers, but we do need explosive shells. Square formation going to give us any units at all? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Garrison guards, I think so, sir. Good grief. Horse grenadier guards from carbines, I think so. We're also going to be getting ourselves square formation because we'll be able to get garrison guards. Look at them, what a wonderful sight. But that's expensive. My word, that is expensive. 1,045 with our budget. Right, let's just end the turn here and let's see what happens. Hopefully our fleets will arrive where they're meant to be. Let's end the turn. Oh, you are absolutely joking me. Oh. Drats. Oh, that is such... Damn. Trust Britain. They're going to hit our trade every way they can here. Look at that. We might even send some privateers into this location, I think. I think it's about time we sent some ships to be able to reinforce here, because they've just ripped that away from us. That means we're going to be in negative equity here. Damn those British for taking that from us. Sweden? Took a little bit of time there for Russia, my friends, so you might see the Russian turn gone there, but still, we are faced here with Britain seizing upon that trade there, but we're going to fight back, we're going to strike back. Yes, excellent. Ooh, dear, dear, dear me. Right, actually we're going to move this fleet here. So this army can actually be moved into there, and then that fleet is going to be immediately sent into Excellent. And this navy here is going to be... No, we'll actually leave the navy there for a moment. Can we actually send some more... These two privateers? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. They're going to be sent to here to deal with that British incursion. We'll also be sending these two as well into there as well. These two privateers as well. We're going to deal with that British once and for all. Excellent one. So that's wonderful. Well, we've got to try and make back up what is lost. We've lost here. Oh gosh, no, 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 gee, oh goodness me, goodness me.
Sì, vostra maestà. Signore? Sì, mio sire. Sì, signore. Ordini, capitano? Sì, signore.
Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it is. Not as good as we had before. So 1472. What we need to do now is to lower attacks here. So we at least get some growth. And here, we're going to deal with these fiends here, and then we should be taking this back from the British. Mark my words, my friends. Mark my words. Now, they've arrived there. Look at that army. What a wonderful sight there. This army is prepared in case the Moroccans... Why are the Moroccans building up a force here, you might ask? Why is that there? Well, whatever happens... Ooh, ho, 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 ho. Well done, Ottomans. Well done, sir. Oh, looks like Prague's under pressure as well here. Prague is actually besieged by the Prussians. But they've still got... Here, Leeward Islands here. We've still got this. No one has touched this yet. No one has touched this yet, so we're going to leave it just here, nice and quiet. Dutch Guiana, French Guiana, if they were ever to rebel, we would be on those. Very, very quickly indeed. We need to know what's there. We just need to know what is there. A quick scout, my friends. I think a quick scout.
Ancora in perfetta efficienza. Tirare di bordo.
Next to nothing. Absolutely next to nothing.
Pronti a ripartire.
We're not going to attack them yet because that might just stir the hornet's nest. But look at that. Grenadiers. Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. You probably know what that is. They've got 12 pounders there and 6 pounders. But Turin could actually be taken right off the march here. We could actually do it with this army here, to be honest with you, and move some of this army into Tunis to hold it. I think that's what we're going to do actually. I think we'll attack Turin here. And take the fight to them. I just wish the Dutch would do something there, but I think we'll attack Turin here. And take the fight. Look at that there. That's a massive army there. Good grief. If we attack Turin, what will we do? What will they... Who are they... Is France just exporting here? They're not actually bringing anything into here. Ottomans here and France here. If we could take Turin, what a blow that would be to the French. And what we're going to do is we're going to move, gentlemen, we'll move these forces here across to here, and then we're going to attack Tunis. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to attack Tunis. We're also going to send this fleet into that trade hub we've got there to really guard it well here. But we're going to go for Tunis. They've got nothing here at all. And actually what we could do is we'll attack it straight away here. What would we need? What have they got here? And also we've got to remember there would be a garrison, but the garrison is only 2 regiments. We'd have to have cavalry. So cavalry is going to be a must. 3 cavalry. We'd have to load up onto the ships now so that we can immediately move onto them afterwards. So what we're going to do is this. Going to send them across to here.
Ancora in perfetta efficienza. Ordini, capitano.
We've left this 6 right here, which can then sort of get its movement availability back to where it needs to be. We're going to then move these gentlemen into here. It's just about staying in good health here. We're then going to send these regiments also our general will be going in there. Right, we're going to load them up onto the ship. And they're going to sit in that ship and wait so that they can immediately land and then attack Turin straight off the bat. Because remember, their movement points have already been used walking down the coastal road here. But we want them to actually move off the ship and go straight for Turin. And whilst we're here, we shall also move these gentlemen in to replace them. Okay, we've got a real juggling act here, but we're going to hit for Turin as fast as we can here. And then these gentlemen can actually be sent to the Americas here, but not yet. We can't have them trapped in the sort of mid-Atlantic here. They would be picked off quite easily here. But if we can take this from them, and also smashing the port here. No, we're just smashing this Turin port because it's just bringing trade directly from France's holdings in the New World here. If we could take Turin, that would be an absolute joy to see. It really would. Okay, I think we can probably end the turn here. Oh wait, we don't need empiricism here at all. What we do need is, I think we'll probably go for canister shot, and then we're going to move to square formation here. Could get a field crop rotation, but we don't need that just yet. Social contract, that'd be excellent for us as well. Right, let's end the turn here, my friends. It's a real juggling act we've got here. Let's see what Britain does. Don't you attack us again. Don't you attack us again, you fiends. And France have backed off here as well for some strange reason. Austria is in a little bit of trouble here. United Provinces. Come on. Oh. Blitzed. Absolutely blitzed. Prussia. Oh, Prussia's just taken another Austrian territory. It looks like the Austrian Empire is collapsing. But that doesn't concern us. At least not yet. Russia, oh, Sweden. Nothing either here. Rather Confederacy, we just need to keep ourselves below the parapet here for everybody else. Local Empire. Portugal. Oh, that's a massive force. Are they heading for... oh. Look at that, that's a wondrous sight there, sir. We just need to get ourselves... Infrastructure is still not brilliant, but... 1394. Is that still there? Is that still available? We're just going to have one quick scout here.
In attesa di altri ordini.
Oh my word, we just dodged a bullet. Wow. Look at the forces here. Oh, look at that Württemberg rebels. The Dutch have got resistance here. And look at that, Silesia has just fallen as well. But Poland have taken Berlin. The plot thickens, my friends. Who? Prussia at war with Britain? Yes, they are, but not at war with France, with Drats. But what about Poland? Allies of France. Even worse. But my word, this is absolutely exploding into... Look at that. The Polish have taken Berlin. Just as Prague fell to the Prussians, Berlin fell to the Polish. That is extraordinary. But we have just dodged a bullet there, my friends. Wow. Look at the forces the French have got here. I mean, that is overwhelming. Good grief. It looks like we're going to be aiming our fight elsewhere. I mean, I'm not going to get involved in this here, and there's nothing really here for us. I mean, there is, of course, the Persian, but that's not going to give us anything. And looks like the Russians are expanding into Georgia here. They've taken Crimea. Ah, look at that. The Polish have taken Moldova here. Wow, that is a fight and a half right there. Our options are becoming shrinking and shrinking here, but we need... My goodness me, we dodged a bullet there because we only checked here. So we didn't see this, but all of a sudden, where did these forces come from here? And they've been here for a long time as well. Look at those powerful forces, my goodness me. Jeepers creepers, we dodged a bullet there. Wow. Right. We retreat back. And these forces are actually going to be taken off here. And we're going to have to reconsider what we're doing here. We're going to have to reconsider exactly what we're doing here. We don't need those there. I think what we're going to have to do is have this real slow improvement of our armies. I think we're going to take this time to take some deep breaths here. Oh, and also we need to send these forces here as well into South American trade line. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build up our trade. We're going to invest in our trade fleets. Going to get a sloop. And we're going to invest, we're going to start investing once we got this money up here. It's 8,000 a month. We're going to start investing, I think, in upgrading these troops. As you can see here, we can now recruit Grenadiers, Royal Cairo Guards, and also African Infantry. I know we're going to get 6 of these. Actually, they're not brilliant, but still, these are probably the best. We're going to get 4 of these, and we can get 6 of these. Now, if we can put an army together, we're going to have to strike possibly against... Oh, look at that. That's taking a hit here. So it looks like the Dutch are actually possibly moving against France. We could... I wonder if we struck against the French Guiana here and Dutch Guiana. I wonder if that would be a possibility. They've left us alone here for some reason, the French. But what if we were to take this here? What if we were to take French, Dutch Guiana? Of course, the council's advice is definitely needed here, but of course, Turin is definitely off the books now. We cannot attack Turin. It looks like Texas might be a viable opportunity here for us. It might be we might establish a colony here in North America here. We've got New Spain here, and who are New Spain's allies? We're very friendly with them, which is exactly what we want to do here. They're allied with Spain and France. We would be in deep trouble if we had fought them. It really would. We just got to wait for the opportunity for one of these nations to fall, and once they fall, they will rebel, and once they rebel, we can take those islands. I think it might be a possibility here for us to try and consolidate what we've got and build and put some elite units into production here. I know that many of you have put wonderful, wonderful suggestions together here, my friends, and I'm going to have to call upon you again here what we do. I mean, Turin is out of the option. I mean, look at that. I mean, the French could literally crush the Dutch here with these armies they've got, these 2 armies here. These are probably the most elite they can put together here. Look at that. They've got Swiss Guards. They've got Compagnie Franche de la Marine, so French Marines. Look at this. Swiss Grenadiers. Swiss Guards, for goodness sake. Look at that. Swiss Grenadiers with double echelon. Wow, even garrison guards with an echelon. Oh, that is brutal. Absolutely brutal force. If we'd have landed in Turin, we would have been absolutely swamped. And we'd have lost our main army here within a matter of moments. We just dodged that by an absolute bullet. If I hadn't checked that one more time, that would have been horrific. Now Morocco was also highlighted as a possible target as well. Now that would really put the ire of the Spanish right upon us. And as you can see, Spain would have a massive series of forces right on our doors. Look at that. We could never hope to hold against these Spanish forces here. So it looks like we're going to have to build a force, try and build our economy up a little bit here, and wait for one of these nations here to really start to crumble. And if we can see a weakness, if we can see a gap somewhere, we're going to have to take that gap, my friends. But for the moment, we are stuck pretty much trying to build our research up. We've got one more turn here. We can then get Ordnance Factory. We're then going to I think we get square formation because we want to be able to recruit garrison guards. And also we get carbines as well for horse grenadier guards. But oh, fire by rank, sir. We get fusiliers. Right, we're going to have fire by rank next. I'll take 8 turns, but fire by rank is an absolute boon. But also a socket bayonet because that'll give us military academy, which will open up a good amount here. Heavy cavalry and cuirassiers. So that's what we're going to do, my friends. Oh, and mountain troops as well. Right, one more turn. I think we'll probably end this episode right there then, my friends. But let's end this turn here and see what happens. Hopefully those ships will arrive in the American trade hub and we can deal some damage. I think from France, damn you. Oh. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh my goodness me, we've just taken a massive hit there. That is so unfair. That is so brutally unfair. Oh my goodness me. We really are up against it here. We just lost a massive amount of our income. We've got to try and get some peace with the French here. I wonder if we try and give them Trinidad and Tobago for peace. Oh, that's a brutal blow. That is a brutal blow. See if we can try and rebuild that trade fleet there. If we see if we get peace with the French and give them... What the blazes did they come from? What? They just landed against the New Spain. $427. Right. Ooh. Oh, look. Oh. Another. That is a decision I'm going to wait for the council to come up with here. Do we go for another? Do we wait and try and get a school, or do we go for a craft workshop, or even a coaching inn? But no, it's either be crafting workshop for the money, or it'll be another school. I'll leave that as 9. Didn't expect Kesterine to be up so quickly. Right, let's try a little bit diplomatic intrigue here. Let's try and get ourselves off. Request peace. and we'll give them Trinidad and Tobago. Yes! We've got the French off our back here. Now we can operate freely now within this trade hub for now, of course. For now. We can deal now. We can operate in here. Oh, that is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We've got the British here. We will be kicking out of here. We are going to kick this fleet out of here for definite. Before we do that, though, let's get that one ship that was just built, and let's get it into these trade. Let's get these trade nodes rebuilt here. Let's get that money flowing back in again. 916 here. Now France is friendly with us now. Can we get an alliance with them? Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. We could have an alliance with France. That would have been beautiful. I've actually got plug bayonet here. Ah, no. Not quite. But we've got peace with them. They were friendly with us before. But we've got one enemy off our back here. Whew. So we can get those trade. We can get that trade operating again quite freely here. Let's invest again in some sloops here. I know we should be getting privateers, but still. We need money. And also we could probably now start putting more forces back here into these trade hubs here, but my word, we're up against it here. We could probably put them back into this trade post here as well for that for the spices here, which are now 24. We'll of course have Britain giving us trouble, but still we will be hitting Britain and taking this off Britain as quickly as we possibly can here. As soon as we've got those other two privateers in here, we'll be dealing with Britain, and we'll be kicking them out of here, and we'll be taking this trade hub back from them, and we'll be increasing all of these. And once we start increasing our income, then we can start increasing our fleet a bit more here. But in the meantime, we are pretty much stuck here at the moment until something happens to one of our enemies elsewhere, maybe in the Caribbean. We've got two decent armies here, so we're not in a great deal of trouble in terms of what could hit us here. But if we can just get this city of Tunis up to a decent level here, i.e. getting the ordnance factory in here, which we can now because we've of course got... No, we don't want that, gentlemen. We're going to get fire by rank here, which is absolutely crucial so we can get Fusiliers with fire by rank. Once we've got some decent units together, once we've got ourselves organised here, it looks like we're going to have to take a step back. And also here, I'm going to need to know what you want here, my friends, as well. The council's decision here is going to be vital. Do we go for the craft workshop for money, or do we go for the school here for the research, purely for the research? It's going to be really, really important here what we decide. Strategically, we can now leave the Dutch and the French to fight themselves silly here. We're not going to be worried about that. As you can see here, they're still taking a lot of damage, a lot of fighting going on around the borders here. But that taking Berlin here, that was a real coup de grace that was there. Let's have one more turn here and let's just see what happens. It's a shame we can't get peace with Britain as well. No. Nope, they're not interested, but they're only unfriendly at the moment with us. There might be a time where we can actually get peace with them. But again, we've just got to be careful of what we do here. Very, very careful. We do need some additional trade ports, so really what we're going to do is upgrade this here. But to get that we need Division of Labour. Division of Labour is where? Division of Labour is here, but we need a college to be able to get that. So again, we need to upgrade this here. So we need empiricism to get that upgrade there. So still got a huge amount to do here. We need empiricism to be able to unlock the college. That's going to cost us then 2,500 to get the college. Then we're going to get Division of Labour to then upgrade the ports. So that's where we stand at the moment, my friends, and we are pretty much back to where we were at the beginning. We had our little foray into the New World. Unfortunately, that didn't work. We've had to give Trinidad and Tobago up here to try and get peace with France so that we can actually have the trade hubs open to us. We have given Austria the Leeward Islands so they can You know, that's between the French and the Austrians, to be honest with you. But again, we are still looking for targets to be able to increase our thing. And we're waiting for something to happen. We're waiting for someone to be able to attack one each other, and we can just pounce. Then, if Paris was to fall, it really would give us a chance to be able to strike against the French and Dutch Guiana with the rebels there and take that from them. But until it happens, my friends, we're here. We've got to try and rebuild now our trade network here in coast of Brazil, as you can see here, and also take this back off Britain and get this trade hub back, but also send more additional trade ports put here as well. I think these are all open here, or at least these two are open, so to send some more ships to here to try and get more trade that way and really build ourselves up here. As you can see, that's dropped by about 3,000, which is affecting this here quite a lot here. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. It has been an eventful episode. I'd like to thank all of the council once again for getting us out of that difficult situation there at the beginning there. It really was tough. We've managed now to get peace with France. We only need peace with Britain, and we can really get ourselves back on our feet here, but it doesn't look like Britain wants peace. So at the moment, we're just going to try and consolidate what we have, get our research up. Again, your advice here on what we could want here, is it going to be economic, or is it going to be research based? I know we can get a coach in here possibly for rakes, you know, for spies, but spies are not really important to us at the moment. What we need is either economy or research, and I'm going to ask for the council's advice there on that. But I'd like to thank all of you for your wonderful advice on this campaign. It has been a difficult time for us at the moment here in this for the Knights of St. John, but we haven't been defeated, my friends, and we shall keep on going until the very end. I can assure you, no matter what that end might be, it'd be victory for us or it'd be defeat for us. Whatever happens, we are not going to yield, my friends. We just have to be patient. I think that something's going to happen here in Europe that's going to open up a door for us to be able to strike very, very hard against. You can see here, Munich and Bavaria here are absolutely, so the Prussians are hitting them hard here. But if France was to fall, if the Dutch were to take that gamble and really, excuse my phone, my friends, if the Dutch would take France, you know, take Paris, it would collapse. The French Empire would collapse, and then we would be immediately heading with forces straight for here, straight for these two locations here, and then the money would roll in, and then, believe me, my friends, then we would be striking back against Britain and all our enemies. But that's not there just yet, but who knows what might happen in the future. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, my friends. Again, please, if you've enjoyed it, please keep your comments coming down below. I need all the council's advice, even more so now, because although we're still in a stronger position than we were, our economy is slightly suffered here because, of course, of the things going on in the trade hubs. But we will rebuild that. We will rebuild those trade hubs. We probably invest most of our money coming in now into the trade, into building up ships to get our trade, because that, in the end, that will pay us back in kind. But my friends, it's just what we didn't attack Turin, because wow, that would have been a heck of a fight. And also, Texas is still on the cards there, but we've got to be able to get an Indian army together, that sort of anti-Indian army, you know, I mean Native Indian army. In other words, I mean an army that can fight the Native Indians, because they are so hard to fight. They really are exceptional fighters. They really are, especially hand to hand, as many of you know. A while ago, campaigns many times ago, I did sort of develop a strategy for dealing with the Native Indians for fighting, and I know that many of the council have also come up with a similar way. You sort of have almost like a triple defense, where you sort of have to, you almost have to fight them, so they have to break through a series layer of defences on the battlefield to be able to get to the sort of the main line, and by the time they get there, they're exhausted or they've taken quite a lot of damage. But we're not there. We don't have the forces to be able to do that just yet. It does include having to have howitzers, which are vital really against the Native Indians. But my friends, we're going to end this episode here. Again, thank you for all your wonderful help, wonderful advice. Please keep those comments coming down below. We're going to have to adapt our plans slightly here now. Many of you can see here, you know, it sort of is starting to stabilise. You're starting to see now Poland is starting to become one of the major powers here. Prussia, the Dutch, but the Austrians starting to shrink here now. So we just got to plan. We got to wait here. Who knows what might happen? Spain might collapse. France might collapse soon enough. Sweden might collapse, but although Sweden is really starting to expand quite aggressively here, you know, looks like the Russians are really starting to push back here. Mind you, the Ottomans are still strong. They're still holding here, which is good to see, and they're also building as well, which again is very, very good to see. But mind you, they haven't built any of these here. But looks like the poles are really starting to expand quite aggressively here. Who knows, they might even bump into the Dutch eventually, and that would be a terrific fight. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, thank you for all your wonderful support, wonderful advice. And I hope whatever you do, my friends, having a great week thus far. Hope you're having a good weekend coming up. Please be safe, have a great time. But until then, my friends, bye for now.